speaking.
Yeah.
How does that work with, well, with the ladies? I can imagine.
God.
I can imagine that there is a lot of females who see in you the perfect husband.
Yeah.
Who send you love letters, because you could easily confuse that love you are spreading with the.
It can be confused by them, and it can also be confused by me as a human being. Yeah.
Is that a difficulty?
It's a playful challenge that is teaching me again how to move in a more authentic and sincere way and integrity. But also, it can show up as a disaster. And again, that's another misconception, that because I'm speaking this, my life must look a certain way, or I must be the perfect this or that, and I can just promise that is not the case. No. There is an element of sweetness that is relayed, that is desired by the feminine. And the predominant audience for what I do is female. So there's a beautiful play that life is happening to help connect and communicate with people, which offers its own challenge. You know, everything could be a two-edged sword. And so, yeah, there's a lot of attention in that direction. But I'm constantly checking in with myself to make sure there's this movement of sincerity, that I'm not trying to fill some void in my own experience. And sometimes I fail miserably. You know, welcome to being a human being. Right now I feel like my heart is reserved for someone. And I've got rings on my fingers just as a sign. Just to let it be known that I'm not interested in engaging in that way.
There's a Dutch teacher who once said, don't confuse the mailman, the postman who brings the love letter. So don't go loving the mailman.
Yeah.
Love the letter he's bringing.
Yes.
That's the same with you too. It's the message.
Yeah, it's just a message. And this is what we do as human beings, is we project outward. We really believe that I am saying something to you, but really you are hearing yourself. You're interpreting what I'm saying. You're the one that's crafting the story. You're the one that's accepting it, rejecting it, all of that. It's all happening within you. Really, I'm irrelevant in this whole equation. Just singing my song.
So is it the self talking to itself right now? Or?
Yeah, that's all that's happening. We're just playing.
And why did the self start playing with itself?
It sounds like a good time.
Yeah, of course. Was it so boring up there then that he thought let's play the game of hide and seek, or let's play the game of two instead of one?
Yeah.
Maybe?
Well, in order for there to be experience, there has to be duality. There has to be a play. And so in that play, there has to be the appearance of you and me.
Yeah. And that's why we suffer. We think that play is real. We forget it's a play.
We take it seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We really think there's a you and a me.
Yeah. And that's fine too.
Up until I take a knife and stab you.
Well, in some way, that's a lesson.
If I kill myself in the form of you, that would be, I think, would be the biggest, the terriblest thing to happen.
Yeah. That would be the play. That it would be the most terrible thing to happen.
So you wouldn't even take that too serious?
No. But it's not a discompassionate thing. It's a broader perspective thing. That it's kind of like when someone close to me dies. It's like when my father died. There was this anger. But what I recognized was his death was perfect. It was right on time. It wasn't really about me losing anything. It was about me arguing with what's happening. It was about me projecting loss on what's happening. And so that created suffering because it wasn't really true. It doesn't make the feelings any less valid, or that I shouldn't feel that way because it's not ultimately true. No. It's just this space of allowing that can see all is well, even though there is this appearance of loss. And so I don't mean to project an idea that says I shouldn't respond emotionally to the illusion, because that can be a very beautiful thing too. It's like the play between two human beings. Even though there's this knowing that I don't need the love of somebody else, I love the play of that love. I love the play of being so devoted to somebody or so taken back by somebody that I want to give them everything. And so that can be a play.
But never suffering during that play. Or that's, again, the play of suffering.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's fine too.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so do you see what happens here? As we see the allowing for all experience, you let go of the future, of what might or might not happen, because you can see that somehow it's going to work out. That frees you up right now.
Freeze.
This is what we want. We don't want the future to be a certain way. We want to be free. And the only place you can be free is right now.
Yeah. It's as simple as that.
There you go.
Yeah. And still, so many books, so many teachings about this.
Yeah.
You can talk about this for days.
We certainly can.
Yeah.
And it's fun.
Yeah.
And I'll keep doing it while it's fun. And then when it's not fun anymore, I probably won't do it.
Yeah. One in these circles is the free will.
You
because I don't have to know.
You don't have to know.
Yeah. So what's that thing inside me? We're talking now for about half an hour. We haven't mentioned the word ego. But is that the ego that wants to know, wants to grab? What's that inside of me that wants to know?
Because you want to know yourself. You want to know. It's the question of what am I? That's every question. Is what am I? That's ultimately what we're asking.
Yeah. Am I the decision maker, or am I the enjoyer, or am I the seer, or?
And all of that takes place in the mind, which doesn't have anything to do with the you that's here right now. And so, in order to really see what I am, I have to see beyond the mind. I have to see before the mind.
Yeah.
And because the mind is trying to hold on to something for the future, and it's afraid it's going to lose it, which is valid because you are going to lose it if it's contained in the mind.
Yeah.
And so to surrender that and recognize the freedom now, you can really answer that question of what am I? But to put a name to it, to put a word to it, isn't really what it is. I could say it's now. I am now. But intellectually, no. It's just being. It's an allowing.
So is it ultimately all about the fear of death? Because that, what you say, it's not going to last, that image I have of myself. I'm going to die.
Yeah. In one way you could say every fear is a fear of death, the fear of an end, the fear of a loss of a story, fear of lack, that there's not enough. And it's not true.
I once read on a wall in a spiritual community, all fear thoughts are not true. Do you agree with that?
I agree that no thought is true.
No thought?
No thought is true.
Because?
Because truth, what is true, has to be here. Because this is real. And you can't comment on that. Because the moment you comment on it, you remove yourself from the awareness of it.
So thought always comes too late.
Correct. And this is great because when I go and share, I expose the spiritual magic trick that's happening in a way, is we come collectively with an agreement to be open, to receive. And then in that, insight and wisdom is shared, but the insight and wisdom is appeasing the mind. It's inviting the mind to be still. And when you see you have permission to be still, then you connect with something that's more real, more true. It's not a word, it's not a language, it's just oh, I feel that. That's real. And then as you connect with that and notice that in satsang, that begins to transform your experience. It's not really the words or what I'm saying, it's that you are here willing to connect with the truth of you. And when you recognize that and feel it, you return home to that when you move away from it.
And nothing can change that.
What do you mean?
Well, let's say I've experienced that during interviews, doing satsangs.
Yeah.
A sense of coming home.
Yeah.
A sense of letting go. A sense of relaxing. I feel it in the way I sit.
Yeah.
In the way I look. And people start seeing twinkle in my eyes.
Yeah.
But sometimes I go walk to the car and I can't find my keys. And there I'm back in the mind again.
Yeah.
You know, I'm going, where is that beautiful feeling I just got 5 minutes ago?
Yeah. Well, you went back to being a person.
Yeah. The person who was not finding his keys.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, because not finding your keys is interrupting your story.
In the story of that beautiful bliss I was just experiencing.
And the bliss never actually went away.
It just got clouded by the...
Yeah, it's holding space for your play of being irritated.
Yeah. So even that is a kind of love.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I should start loving the moments I'm irritated.
If you like.
It's not necessary. Do whatever I want.
Yeah.
So even nothing wrong with the old grandma who got left by her husband at the age of 50 and until she dies at 90, 40 years of frustrated sitting behind the curtains and thinking the world is a bad place.
Nothing wrong with that? You can imagine something wrong with that.
Mm-hmm.
And then feel the tension of that in this moment, even though that's not happening.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just imagining examples of people who get stuck in that misery and take on the role of a victim and never come out of it.
Yeah.
I'm going to talk about this as it were a cartoon where I'm watching.
Well, and you have to understand, this is what's happening now. Mm-hmm. You and I here. If that becomes the reality, and I'm sitting with somebody in that space, it's a completely different interaction.
Dynamic.
Yeah.
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 But it's just, I can imagine why you're laughing now. You're laughing about the silliness of the story.
Yeah, and I'm just really enjoying life right now.
Okay, yeah, that's good. It's nice to hear. You're going to do some more things over here in Holland, also with youth. With the how do you in Nederland zeggen we jongeren, not children, but
teenagers.
Teenagers, yeah. And what are you going to tell them?
I really don't know.
Oh, okay.
I really don't know. I just know the space has been set up and I'm going to arrive and see what happens. I have a feeling it will have to do something with love.
Love?
Yeah.
Okay. And for a teenager, love is like a very exciting adventure, but it's the first time you fall in love.
Well, love as a space of being, so that they can recognize that all is well. And that they have permission to follow their joy in this life.
So you're not like some elderly who puts up his finger and says, throw away your cell phone. It makes you miserable being on Facebook all day and Twittering, Instagram. No.
I actually have a funny story about the Facebook thing. Shortly before that No Words video, I was in this space of reflection of, man, I sure am spending a lot of time on Facebook. You know, engaging with people and posting and all of that and liking comments. And I had to get sincere with myself. It's like, why am I doing this? And it was like, because I enjoy it. Long after that video takes off and goes viral and then contributes more to the sharing. That helps me do more of what I enjoy. Yeah. And I playfully see that as this reflection of my own agreement that I'm in the right.
Facebook and all the Twitter things I do are just gaining attention, searching for love outside of myself.
It could be.
Yeah.
And that's a great opportunity to reflect on that. And it doesn't mean that has to stop. It might mean that you engage it in a different way.
How do I tell the difference? How do I know the difference?
Are you engaging in it with anxiety?
Well, I know for sure that because I had a YouTube channel for about 5 years with millions of views. Because of a stupid thing, YouTube canceled the YouTube channel. Yeah. I was sick for a week.
Yeah, because your worth was wrapped in it.
Yeah. It was part of my ego. It was part of my... I'm Patrick, the guy with the big YouTube channel. Yeah. And now...
I'm happy for you.
Happy that it's gone.
Well, if that's what happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it still brought me so-called suffering.
Yeah.
I would now drive to Paris if someone told me, if you now drive to Paris, you get back your YouTube channel. Yeah. I would be in the car right now.
Yeah.
I don't think that's a sane or a healthy way of engaging in social media.
Well, you could say, yes, I would drive to Paris to do that and do it in a different way now.
Yeah.
I would be honored to be back in that position, but to do it more authentically rather than wrapping my identity up into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, are you still bothered by your identity?
Am I bothered by
Yeah.
my identity?
Does it bother you in a sense of if this interview would be seen 5,000 times,
No,
10,000?
I don't care at all. No, I'm not here for that.
No. I know, but I would imagine from my place,
Yeah.
it would be nice that this interview would be watched.
Yeah, it'd be fun.
Yeah.
But it's irrelevant.
Irrelevant to the joy that we're experiencing right now.
Yeah, it's absolutely irrelevant to my life.
Yeah.
What happens to this interview when I leave?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even if in 5 minutes I would say power shut down, interview gone.
Yeah.
You wouldn't say we did it for nothing.
No, because we are so in fullness of this moment that it's complete. It doesn't need to be anything other than this. And I'm not relying on this for my own wellness.
Yeah. So there's no particular reason of doing this.
Other than joy? No.
And is joy then always the reason to do things? Contribute to joy?
Depending on what your perspective of joy is, I would say yes. In another way, I'd say no. Maybe more appropriately, we could say sincerity as the motivation. Mm-hmm. This is very sincere for me to do. Because joy we can see as, oh, it means I'm happy. I always have to go and be happy. I wouldn't say that at all.
No. That could be an ego thing also.
Exactly, because I'm afraid of feeling sad.
Yeah, so I'm just following the parties. I'm looking at the party agenda every day. Where's the biggest party? I'm going to be there. Because I don't want to feel that.
Yeah.
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 One more question about depression.
Yeah.
Any advice for people who are watching this and who are now going through this phase of depression? What's the thing to do? Feel?
The first thing I would say is everything's okay. What's happening is an opportunity for you to see what you really are rather than what you imagine yourself to be. And so can you find within yourself an openness to see that rather than fighting the present moment experience? And just in that openness, be willing to let go of the expectation of who you think you should be and let life show you what you really are.
And that's it?
For now.
Yeah. Okay.
Ask me tomorrow, I might say something different.
Yeah. When people want to get in touch with you, there's the website.
Yeah, takemonk.com.
Can you maybe put up the book? Very proud. Is there translations in other languages already?
Not yet.
Okay.
But that could change tomorrow. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could. Thanks for the book. I can. I know some people at some. Well, whatever. Anything you want to say to or ask me or want to tell the people who watch this?
I'm just so thrilled. Thank you for allowing this to happen.
Yeah.
This is a really big honor. do you have to bring home some typically Dutch treats or sweets, or have you got did people tell you bring back this? We have some kind of things over here in Holland where you don't have it. This is true. Yeah.
Stroopwafels.
Well, I am traveling fairly lightly, and I don't actually know when I'm going back.
Okay.
And so we'll see. I know that my daughter would love me to bring something back, but
okay.
Yeah.
Do you also do sessions with people on Skype?
I do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do one-on-one sessions, normally in a package type thing.
Mm-hmm. It's all on the website, and you have your own YouTube channel. Last question: why is it that you mostly do this in the car?
Because that's when it happens.
Yeah, it just.
Yeah, and I will say that most of the sharing that I do is on Facebook.
Ah.
Mostly because I'm lazy. And, organizing all these different things and the website and all of that, I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And so all of the videos that I'm making are on Facebook. I don't spend much time putting it on YouTube. Eventually that might happen, but for now there's probably about 300 videos on Facebook that people can find. But making the videos in the car, it's just fun. And so that's why I do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you look like you have a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Also in the videos. Okay, we're gonna search you up on Facebook, Tycho Singleton. Thanks for visiting Holland.
You're so welcome. Thank you.
Thank you. Sitting here in beautiful Den Bosch with beautiful Elisa. Namaste. Namaste.
Namaste.
that is not your surname or last name when you were born, right?
No, no. it came later. My surname was Nielsen.
Ah, like the famous actor, Leslie Nielsen.
I don't even know who he is, but yeah.
Old man. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're originally from Denmark?
Yeah.
At the moment you're 27 years old.
Yes.
And you haven't been in the Netherlands for a very long time, no?
No, I've been here 1.5 years total, I guess. Yeah.
And how did you land here?
I usually say I followed my heart. I went here to do a workshop. And in the middle of the workshop, I was like, blah, 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 blah. I will come back when the angels tells me to. And then I went back to Denmark. And in a couple of months later, I had this urge to go back to Holland. And then I came here, and every time I came here, I felt like I was fulfilling my purpose. And on and off, I was back and forwards every month for almost a year. And then from one day to the other, I just moved here. I made a decision, and then I went back to Denmark, signed out of everything, and then I became part of Holland.
Yeah. So are you officially a Dutch citizen right now, or are you still on a list that you have to wait?
I don't know, actually. I think you don't have to become a Dutch citizen when you're in Europe.
Yeah.
So I just registered in Holland.
Yeah, great. And how did people in Denmark react? All positive? No.
No, there was like, so Elisa, what are you running away from? It was somebody's, and others were pretty surprised because when I feel I have to do something, I do it. So it was from one day to another, and I just came home and say, okay, I'm gonna move in 9 days, and everybody was like, what? But those who knows me also know that this is a part of me, so in that form they were pretty accepting my choices.
No fears came up?
Within me?
Yeah.
To move here? No, not at all.
No, you think what, maybe Dutch people are stupid or...
No, not at all. For me, I always follow my heart. And then sometimes it brings me weird places where I in the middle of it, like I make all the move and then I stand in the middle of it and then I'm like, then my mind starts like, oh, wait a minute. Oh, what's up now? Like when I moved to Den Bosch, I was supposed to move to Amsterdam. And the day I was supposed to go sign a contract in Amsterdam, I met this friend who lived in Den Bosch. And he told me about the city and I had the feeling, oh, I have to go there. So 2 days later, I moved to Den Bosch. And in the car with my things in the back, on the way here, I realized I never been there. I never been in the city and now I'm moving there. Yeah, so that's kind of part of me, I guess.
So when I hear this all, do you see life as one big experiment then? Just trying stuff? See how it goes?
No, I see it as a journey. And a journey where you kind of have chosen what you want. In order of your heart will always guide you the way which is beneficial for the purpose that you're here to achieve or go through. And the only thing holding us back is fear. So I see life as a destiny thing, but with the possibility of creating your own reality.
Okay, so there's an Elisa who chose to do this all.
Yes and no. How do I explain this? So the way I feel it is that you have one line. This line is you want to go through this emotional experience. You will meet this connection because you're supposed to do something together, and in that connection, it is up to you to feel if you want to stay in this line or you want to follow another path. So there's always this possible outcome within the people we meet and within the connection that we make. And then all after which vibrationally level we are on, we will attract these vibrationally matches. So somehow you're gonna do what you were sent here to do. And if it's not with one energy vibration will be represented who will guide you in the direction that you truly want to go. So when I say we create our own reality, it means everything is a reflection of the reality of which we are part of, right? And we are sitting here in this room together now. I perceive it in one form. I can perceive it in like, oh, everything is butterfly and pure love. And then another person can sit here, and the only thing this person can hear is like the radiator do like tick, tick, tick. So for him it's horrible, right? But we have each of our own perception of the room. So within that, you choose how you want to navigate in life. You can choose if you want to stay stuck within yourself and keep attracting. Search for the pathway where you feel the most free. So how long you want to stay in your learnings, it's not something the universe decides. It's the amount of free will. And that's kind of how I see it.
So I come from the non-duality tradition, and there are some non-duality teachers who say there is no free will. Everything just happens according to the cosmic plan.
Yeah.
You're not so fond of this kind of dogmas?
Yes and no, because when you completely let go of everything and are in completely trust within yourself, you open the borders to follow your heart. That means that then you are in peace within the journey of which you are meant to walk, and then you are walking the destination towards the destination and at the path you're meant to. So in that order, they're completely right. If you choose it in a form where you let go of everything, because then it's easier instead of looking inside of yourself, then you're doing it in a form where it's kind of, for me, feels fake. Then you are letting go of responsibility to life, you're letting go of your own life force, you're letting go of the whole beauty in the creation of life. And I always say, if we're sent here to just sit and meditate on a mountain and do nothing else, why are we here at all?
Yeah, good question.
Yeah.
Any answer to why we are here on Earth?
I love this one. Well, Source wanted to see himself in other forms. That's like the ultimate answer.
So it's God playing hide and seek with himself.
Yeah, kind of. He wants to experience. If you look at it in a scientific way, when you have these plus and minus thing going on and you make friction, then if you put it down, then you can see what outcome will happen, and that creates energy. And that energy form helps the universe of expanding and understanding and growing in knowledge, which is also kind of expanding. So yes, in that form. As souls, we are here to experience and expand our own soul stream. As collective, we are here on Earth. Earth was an experience, also experienced an experiment. And we're here to help develop ourselves on this experiment. At some point we were also here to help the Earth develop, but at this moment it's kind of helping us the most.
And I could imagine that someone is watching this and think, well, it's a beautiful lady and she's 27 years old, but where did she get her knowledge? At 27 I was still chasing the other sex and going partying. And how come you are at such a young age receiving this kind of wisdom? Did you read a lot? Did you visit gurus? Did you read books?
No, I've been reading 3 books in my entire life.
Okay, tell me.
Eric Tolle. How do you pronounce?
Eckhart Tolle?
Yeah, I love that guy so much.
The Power of Now?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I read that one, and then I read somebody say how do you pronounce this in English? Ask Your Guidance. And a handbook about angels and uprising masters. That's the 3 only books I read in my life.
And what happened after reading those books?
What happened were this woman who told me that I was an angel sent to Earth, and she will help me to discover my gifts. So what she did was she helped me realize that I have always been what I am. So I just had to learn to separate myself from everybody else. So in that form, I could feel clearly who felt what.
So you are clairvoyant, or how do you call it with with a beautiful name?
I always never know what to call myself. So if you have a really good slang, let me know. The only thing I know how to explain it is I am an energy form who have the ability to become one with everything. So I know how you're feeling because I become you in that moment. I know how the table are vibrating because I become one with it. I know how somebody's dead grandma is feeling because I become her for a moment. And then I just put voice to the feeling and the vibration of which she contains.
Isn't that scary sometimes?
I always did it. I was just not consciousness about that was what I did. So therefore for me it's not scary.
And could it be possible to lie to you? Because let's say I'm hiding something.
No.
You would feel it immediately.
Yes, especially if you were hiding it.
Yeah.
So everything is suppressed, persist inside of you, and therefore that would be the first thing I'm feeling. What sometimes happens is that people come in a state of mind and they want answer for their mind. Then I don't understand their questions. And when they're not linked to the emotional system within themselves, I feel this disconnection in our talk. So I have to ask them that either they go to their heart or go inside, choose that they want to open up, or else they need to find another outlet.
Yeah.
Because I can tell them what their heart is saying, but their mind is not ready to hear this. So yeah, that's kind of the only thing. But also funny sometimes.
Yeah?
Yeah, like, no, I want to know this. I'm like, yeah, so I'm not gonna answer your questions. What you really want to know, no, it's not me. And then they have this a big amount of resistance. But then when they come home, form themselves, allow themselves to go through that resistance, there's something within themselves that know that this is how they feel. But sometimes people are not always ready to see things inside of themselves, and they're not ready to be seen, and therefore ego have a reaction. Yeah, so that happens sometimes.
So people get angry at you, walk away.
It's not so often,
No.
but it have happened. Yeah.
And you're not someone who, I can imagine, goes to the clerk at the grocery store and says, "Hey, you have to quit this job. It's not good for you. Bye bye." Or how does that work?
No, not so.
You only say it when you're asked to give some advice, or
no. If I have a feeling to tell people something, I do it.
yeah,
Yeah.
no matter what the consequences may be.
Yeah, I don't think about the consequence because I don't go to people and say, "Oh, you have to be careful." It's always something about them having to see the beauty within themselves, or know that everything will be okay, or just show them love.
It's positive, something positive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, always. When I was a kid, sometimes I did tell people about that grandma or something in the bus, but I didn't think about it. So for me, it was just normal. I didn't even realize that it wasn't normal. So that was first later. I look in the back mirror, I was like, oh, oops. But I don't do that anymore.
Yeah. I see a beautiful tattoo on your left shoulder. That's Mr. Jesus?
Mr. Jesus himself.
Why Mr. Jesus on your left